and recreation. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to give people a couple of minutes to start joining in. I didn't do that last time, and some of the feedback I got was, it's a couple of minutes late. So I'm going to give people a couple of minutes just to join in. In that couple of minutes, I wanted to say, again, thank you very much for joining me. And also, if you do have any questions of any kind, so I'm going to read my notes here. You want to enter the questions into the Q&A box that's, I think, on your screen. I don't know if it's below or to the side or wherever it is. You can enter your questions. What I'm going to try to do is keep the talk to a brief talk, about 10 minutes. And I would love to answer any questions you have about the subject, exercise and recreation. If you have other questions on different subjects, you can enter them, but I can't guarantee that I'd be able to answer them because I kind of want to stay on topic as best as I can. And one of the reasons why I chose this topic is because many clients or potential clients have come in through the door and have said to me that, I don't think I need to lift weights. Lifting weights is just for big, bulky muscles. I play tennis, I jog, I ride my bike. So I don't really need to do any kind of weightlifting. And it's always, it's always a very difficult thing to try to get people to understand that while recreational activities, and I'll get into this in a little more detail, are really, really good for you, they really don't offer the kind of benefits that most people hope that they do. So I'm just going to give people one more minute. I have a little participants box. This is kind of cool. I'm using this Zoom technology. I have a little participants box, and I'm just looking to see if other people join. So I'm just trying to give it another minute or so. And I hope you guys are having a really nice day, and I hope you're, and I'll take this opportunity also to say that at the end of the talk, if you visit the Slow Burn Fitness Revolution Facebook page, I'd really, really like it if you could, hit like and maybe give some feedback, positive or negative, whatever the feedback may be is okay with me, so that I can learn from whatever mistakes that I make, which I'm sure I'll make a few, so that I can provide you better and better talks for each and every talk that I do. All right, well, I think that's probably enough time to wait for people. So I'm just going to begin the talk. I like to begin by just a little bit about me. My certification is from the American Council on Exercise as a personal trainer, and I've done some exercise physiology work studying at Long Island University. I didn't write that down, but I did. My our best-selling book, Slow Burn Fitness Revolution, with Drs. Michael and Mary Dan Eads, which came out in 2002. I'm also the author of Strong Kids, Healthy Kids book, which is a book for strength training and healthful eating for adolescents and teens. And I'm the owner of Slow Burn Personal Training Studios, both in New York City and in Montclair. So let's get right to it. The difference between exercise and recreation. Earlier, I mentioned that a lot of people think that it's one and the same thing. But the truth of the matter is exercise should be what I call universal, meaning that it should stimulate a positive tissue adaptation or response, meaning stronger muscles, stronger bones, more mitochondria, all of the benefits that exercise can bestow for everybody. It also, for an activity to constitute exercise, it should also minimize or prevent the risk of injury. And many different types of recreational activities do exactly the opposite. As you can see on the left-hand side, this is a very popular form of exercise called CrossFit. I use the term loosely. I don't consider this exercise because it is not safe and because it is not designed to stimulate a positive tissue adaptation. You may get strong, you will get stronger, and you'll have some positive adaptations, but that's not the purpose of CrossFit. The purpose of CrossFit is a competition. And those kind, like boot camp, these kinds of activities will almost always lead to injury, and sometimes permanent. On the right-hand side, you see our wonderful client, Smooth Rob, we call him, and he is performing a very slow, controlled set of front grip pull-down exercises. You can see he's exercises in his suit and tie, and the reason for that, his ability to do that, is because our movements are so slow and controlled, so safe, that you're actually able to work out in your regular daily attire, and so that's one other positive benefit of the slow burn exercise program. Recreation, now, on the other hand, recreation should be not universal. It should be personal. It should be something that maximizes your fun and your enjoyment in life. It should be something that's instinctive, something that you do because you like to, and may not be the same for everybody else. You can use it for stress relief, meaning that you can often exercise. Productive exercise is, in a sense, a controlled stress. You're putting stress on the body so that the body recognizes the stress so that it produces a positive adaptation. Whereas with recreational activities, it's can be used more as a stress relief activity. And it can be spiritual, where exercise in and of itself is difficult, it's strenuous, it is arduous, but it is productive and causes, as I mentioned again, a positive tissue adaptation, where recreation in a lot of ways is exactly the opposite. So another thing that is very important to understand is that movement in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean that you're producing a positive adaptation. So here's an example that I use a lot with my clients. Take soccer players, for example. A soccer player's career is over by the time they're 30, 35 years old. So I'm not talking about boxing or football where injury is apparent, but sports like baseball or soccer or tennis, where they're much less forceful than other sports, but by the time the athlete is 30, 35 years old, they're old. Their career is over. So if physical activity in and of itself was so beneficial, well, a soccer player or a baseball player's career, they should be at the height of their game by the time they're 30, 35 years old. But they're on their way out. So this example shows you that physical movement in and of itself, even if it's strenuous, does not cause a positive tissue adaptation. And it, in many instances, won't even halt the loss of bone and muscle tissue as you grow older. So another thing that I think is also very important to understand in terms of the difference between exercise and recreation is you get the benefit of recreation while you're doing it. You're playing tennis, you're enjoying it, you're having a good time, you're out on the golf course, you're talking to friends. But the benefits of exercise, like strength training or resistance training, come when you rest. So strength training is a controlled detriment. Exercise is a controlled detriment, whereas recreation is a controlled positive benefit. So it's very important to understand that when you exercise properly to cause a positive adaptation, that those benefits are coming when you're resting. And research shows it takes a couple of days, 1, 2, 3 days sometimes, for the full benefits of the exercise program to be realized. Now, before I was talking about the benefits. So what you want to say to yourself is, are the benefits of exercise something that come with recreation? And look at all of the benefits you see here. Does your recreational activity actually produce all of these benefits? Well, and your recreational program, your exercise program must. So that's one other difference, or these differences, many other differences between exercise, where recreation may cause some of these, that the cause is inadvertent, and it's not necessarily the purpose. So I'm just looking down to the Q&A to see if there's any open questions right now, and I don't see any questions coming in at all. I'm just trying to get to my next slide, but it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. So I hope that what I've presented to you so far kind of illustrates the difference between exercise and recreation. Both are very important. So strength training, but if all you're doing is performing recreational activities, wonderful recreational activities like yoga or golf or riding your bicycle, that's wonderful, but it isn't going to give you the added benefits that strength training can. So while both are necessary, if you're not doing something to actively make your muscles and bones stronger, then the truth is, and research shows that you're actively allowing yourself to become weaker. And the nice thing about resistance training, especially the slow burn method of resistance training, is you need very little of it, as little as 15 to 30 minutes a week. And that added positive tissue adaptation exercise is going to allow you to do your yoga better, your meditation better, your tennis better, your golf better. It doesn't make any difference what your recreational proclivity is. Anything that you do is going to be enhanced, greatly enhanced by resistance training. So I wanted to say thanks very much. I was leaving, now I'm leaving about 5 minutes open for any questions you may have. Once again, I'm looking down in the Q&A section. I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher on my screen, and I don't see any open questions yet. So while I'm waiting for some questions to come in, I just wanted to say a couple of things more about the slow burn fitness. We have an open, not open, but a free complimentary first session for anybody who lives in the New York City or in the New Jersey, Essex County area. Come on in and try the exercise complimentary. I think you'll really enjoy it. And the way you can do that is just simply go to my website, which is slowburnpersonaltraining.com. And when you go there, within a few seconds, actually, a pop-up screen is going to come up, and you can sign up there for a complimentary slow burn personal training session. If you look around on the website, you'll also see other areas where you can enter your information, and we will get back to you promptly to set you up for your initial slow burn personal training session as well. And again, if you could, it would be really, really helpful if you could like our slow burn page when you're at our slow burn Facebook page. And I'm just trying to look around to see if anybody else has a question. And another, just popped into my head, another good subject to talk about is pre and post exercise recovery. So one of the most important things about recovery is nutrition. Now, nutrition, I would say, is the number one benefit, or the number one, or should be the number one focus, I should say, of your daily routine. How it is not so much, I know you know the phrase, you are what you eat. That's not quite correct. You are what your body does with what you eat. And you want to make sure that you're eating in a manner that is most healthful so that you can get as much recovery, you can reap the benefits of your exercise as much as you possibly can. So we advocate here a protein power, low sugar, fairly low carbohydrate, high fat, adequate protein diet. There is good research to show that eating in that manner is going to maximize your pre and post exercise benefits. And it's also very helpful to eat that way if you're trying to perform bike riding or other physical activities that you enjoy, so that you have the energy to do it, the best energy to do it possible. We offer nutritional advice here at Slow Burn Personal Training at no extra cost. We also have a certified health coach in our program that can help you with any kind of issues you may have if you're finding difficulty with your nutritional program. So there are no questions, and I think that just trying to think of anything else I could tell you about this subject that I have not already. Well, let me just say candidly that slow burn strength training is not the only way to strength train. There are many other forms of resistance training that you can involve yourself in that would be very, very important for you to do. Just make sure that it's not CrossFit, and make sure that it's not an exercise program that's going to injure you in the process of trying to benefit you. Now, my next talk, let me just say a couple of minutes on that, or a couple seconds on that. My next talk is going to be about bones of steel. And that is going to focus around how you can go about increasing your bone mineral density, decreasing osteopenia, decreasing osteoporosis, or at least keeping bone loss at bay. And it's going to be a combination of both resistance training and nutrition. The specifics of which I'm not going to tell you now. That'll be a surprise for a couple of weeks from now. But that will be the subject for next week. Oh, and if you have any other ideas for subjects, if you send me those ideas on the Facebook page, or if you go to the website, you can also email us those ideas. I'd be happy to think of some talks I could do on those ideas, and I'd be more than happy to do that because I can't think of everything. We're going to post this recording on Facebook. And again, thank you for listening. We really encourage you to share this. And as I always like to say in closing, have a strong day.